This is the scary one. Oh no, this is barley price from Lethbridge. I didn't update it, but this is May. So this is the urea. It went October 730. Right now we're at 1255. It's ridiculous. Last year we were here. So why are feed prices up, especially protein? Because of urea. And it's only going to get worse. So, prices are high. What do we need to do? Cut the feed costs. That's all the phone calls I get. Gotta cut the feed costs, can't afford to feed them. Requirement's still the same for cows. It's not like cows all of a sudden need less food, more expensive. So, what are we going to call? Feed guy. Too expensive. Can't afford it, pull it out. What do we get then? Save some money. Performance goes down. Circle. We lose money. Doesn't work. So the way I look at it, if you look at your cost of feeding, this little red square is supplement on average. What, 10%. We're the only guys that send you a bill. So that's why we get the cost. What I like to do is focus on this part. Because you don't get a bill from the bales you make. Right? It costs you what? 20 bucks a bale? Cut it, bake it, bale it. Market value now is what's a bale of hay worth here. 100 bucks? 150. That's the market value. So that's all I'm looking at. You can't, because we do it with grain, right? If grain's $4 a bushel in September, and now it's 11, we still sell it at 11. Well, we need to start doing the same with hay and crops. Because I don't care if it costs you 25 bucks a bale, you've got a $150 bale sitting in the yard, and you can't afford to feed your cows that way. So I'm saying, let's focus on a 90% here instead of on that 10%, because you're not going to make your money on this. What do you go from one feed company to the other and say 50, 60, 100 bucks a ton? Sure, it's great, but it's not gonna make or break. And then the problem is, we pick the most inefficient animals to deal with. They are horrible. That's why their shit is green. This number basically means the amount of pounds that an animal needs to eat to gain 1 pound of body weight. Right? So you're better off raising fish. Because at least you're halfway efficient. Feed cost. So this is kind of what I'm getting at, is the feed cost. So I have a different, this is an old slide, and I tried to I tried to basically compare feeds to liquid, right? Because we're always looking at the sticker price. A lot of times I hear, like in a normal year, oh, I get a $300 pellet, right? It's better than a $700 supplement. Well, maybe, I don't know. So we can update some prices here after, but what I've done is I looked at the price per ton. Like I said, this was from 2 years ago. Liquid feed, $500, a 32% supplement. We need 1 pound inclusion rate, right? That's per cow per day. Is there shrink? No, because it doesn't blow away. It's closed system, right? We can get cows eating. Feeding 5 pounds of grain per head per day. Barley was 235. So 5 pounds times 235 a metric ton, 53 cents. Feeding for 100 days. So I've done this for a supplement, a complete feed, and lick tubs. Now remember, feed companies make money on protein. It's the only thing you make money on. Selling protein. See the lick tubs? Lick tub is just a fancy way to feed mineral. It's just stuck glued together, and it's expensive. And why is it expensive? Because half the time we don't use it right. Because we need 20 cows in 1 tub. Well, I've never seen a guy with 300 head put 12 tubs in. Right? That's why we go wrong. That's why the damn things are empty in 3 days. So, supplement, I did the same price, like a dry supplement. And then I did my biggest competitor, a complete feed. Well, I got half the price. Right? $275, 15% to keep it even. Right? I'm feeding 6 pounds, because here I feed 1 pound at 5. 180 days. Right? Look at that. On 180 days feeding. Even though you're half the price, you're spending 10 bucks a cow more. And lick tubs, completely out of whack. They work in certain settings, but not as a main source of supplement. So then this guy had 300 head. Cows weighing 1,200 pounds. Why do I put that in there? Because we need to calculate the feed intake in dry matter. Right? 1,200 pound cow, 30 pounds of dry matter. Feeding for 180 days. I asked him what his forages were and the cost. So he was getting hay, 250 bucks a ton, straw for 70, silage for 50. This was his current diet. He was feeding a supplement. And his argument was, why would I go from this to this? I need a tank, I need a pump, right? Seems a lot of work. This is what he was feeding. 15 pounds of hay, 8 straw, because we don't like to feed more, right? We're going to plug them up. Silage, grain, supplement. As fed, came to 38.42, as total dry matter of 30 pounds, right? To equalize that, I made him a diet. We said, okay, we want to still keep some hay in. He was done with silage because he'd rather just grow the grain. So we added straw, 5 pounds of grain, liquid. Looking at $1.97. So on 300 head, you're saving 50 grand on feed costs. But the only way you do that is if you start calculating market value for your forages. Because this guy now, instead of using 1,000 bales a year, he was using 300 and he sold the rest. That's where money is. So we can update this to actual numbers if you want. Let's see if I can do that. It works. Oh, you guys see something different than I do. There we go. Well, let me know some numbers. Liquid. What is the price on liquid here? 700, roughly, maybe a little bit less. Let's go with 700. Let's make it more expensive. So 1 pound inclusion. Can you guys see what I'm doing here? Yeah. 5 pounds of grain. What's grain worth in metric ton here?
About 380 bucks a ton. Just for barley.
Is that rolled?
No, that's picked up in the yard.
Woo!
So
So we got, what does that cost? Roll it? Add another 50. Truck it, add another 20. Ouch. 450?
Yeah, 440, 450.
440. We're in northern Alberta, so how many days do you feed on average here? Year round? Give me a number, how many days? 200, 220, 250? 200? All right. Who's using a supplement from like Master Feeds or Cargill or what are you paying?
30 bucks a bag.
Sorry?
That all in one is $40 a
40, yeah, but that's a mineral, right? So you still need your protein. So on a supplement, I called Master Feeds in Edmonton, no, Co-op in Edmonton, because you're in feed sales, you try to see what the competition is doing. So you just call them, present to be farmer. I need something. What do you got? And then they give you a number, which is pretty cool. So they were like with trucking, they were 5 something, and then with trucking, so let's say 625. Well, let's say 600, whatever. Feed 1 pound, 5% is gonna blow away. All right, so we're cheaper. Now complete feed, who's using a pellet? Who's feeding a pellet? Anybody feeding a pellet here?
They were $700.
What was the protein?
They were that was a while ago. They were 20%.
Not, well, let's leave it at let's like complete feed is out of the question anyways. But. And then lick tubs. What are you paying for lick tubs here? Like these blocks. We sell them. I don't like to sell them because they don't have too damn expensive.
200 bucks.
200?
Yeah.
Robin don't sell them, we don't buy it. Robin don't sell them, we don't buy it.
200 bucks.
Okay, 200 bucks. All right.
So they're 20%.
Okay, now let's look at some cows. What type of farm we want to go with? What does everybody run here number, roughly?
Like for weight?
No, just number of cows. Sorry? 400. Okay, and how heavy, roughly? Okay, so that calculated the feed intake, right? Because right there, right? 30 times 2.5%. We already said barley was 440. All right, what does hay cost, a metric ton? Or a bale? Decent hay, not like ditch hay. A bale. And bales are what? 1,500 pounds? 14?
Lots of guys have 1,800 pounds.
Okay, well let's go 1,500. So 150 divided by 1,500 times 2204. Ooh, $220. Silage. Is that worth a ton? 55, 60 bucks in a normal year?
I always put 10 times in the barley price, I use the barley price.
Yeah.
So if barley's $8 a bushel, it's $80.
Yeah. Ouch. So you do and silage is 35% dry matter, so you got to do that times 3, so that's $240 a ton dry matter. So it's cheaper to buy hay at $220.
Yeah, when barley's at price.
Yeah, that's a good one. I never heard that. Yeah. What's straw worth? Sorry?
35 bucks a bale.
35 bucks a bale. Bales are what? 1,000 pounds? 1,200. So 35 divided by 1,200 times 2204. Woo! 65 bucks. Ton. Oh, this is a diet I already put in for a guy. So this is a diet I already put in, and we might as well leave that. What is that? Complete feed? Oh yeah, he was using complete feed. So this is what he was feeding. He was feeding 13 pounds of hay, 15 silage, 2 straw, 5 grain. Oh no, hang on. What feeding grain? He was feeding complete feed. 6 pounds of complete feed. We basically just upped the straw and lowered the hay. Added some grain, pound of liquid. He saved $27,000. You can change it too. You can say a pound of supplement, and then 5 pounds of grain. The money is where you can substitute your highest cost forage with a lower quality forage. And the only way we can get away with that is because we're feeding sugar. There's no other feed company that will supply highly digestible energy in the form of sugar to be able to do that. Got some under numbers to put in? Does this make sense?
Makes sense. If you fed that, your calf ain't gonna bring you that many dollars. You're feeding them bastards for nothing.
What do you mean?
Your calf ain't gonna bring you that many dollars next fall. You might as well go and shoot that son of a bitch now before.
You're in cattle, not me. Don't look at me. I've raised some questions since I moved to Canada. I was like, what is it? Okay, cows, great.
That son of a bitch and calf ain't gonna be paying your feed bill by next fall.
No, but if you're sitting on hay, that's all I'm saying.
Oh, yeah. Sell that.
We don't have feed our cows, we just have straw
Yeah.
and grain.
Yeah.
So how do we get that 1 pound into our cows? And we dress the bales,
It doesn't matter how you feed the supplement because it all ends up in the same spot. Like I could imagine that like as long as they get a pound to a pound and a half,
and they can get that through like paying.
it all ends up in the room. The benefit of the liquid is I would probably put some on a bale just to increase appetite on it.
And then you process the bale or like.
Well, if I don't get guys to process it, but what's going to happen to the liquid?
They'll just go into the process and make it grow.
Yeah, yeah.
So we're better to like bale raise coolant that with the cows.
Yeah.
And then how much of a pound of molasses would you add to each bale? How would you figure that out?
Yes.
When we bale raise our cows, we go through about 60 to 70 bales a week.
Yeah.
So
I would do 10% bale weight. That's good enough to coat the bale enough to make cows want it.
and that's just setting them on end and then hot pressing it?
Yes. Hang on, I can.
Under pound.
I've been putting something.
2.5 gallons.
They go crazy for it.
Yeah, just
But this is kind of what I meant when you said cows don't make money, but we keep doing the same thing. So why do we keep doing the same thing? It doesn't make sense.
So for our, we also have around about 400 head of cows.
Yeah.
We were kind of short on grain for them. Haylage and the side of the field right now. We're wondering if we could supplement them with the liquid is what we were saying.
Right? So simple when you're on the outside, eh? This is how they do it in Texas.
That's a good liquid.
That's winter in Texas.
Where do they get the
Nice.
lick tank?
Huh?
Where do they get a lick tank like that?
I don't know, but these are Americans. They haven't thought about it because the wheels are sideways. We got sideways cows there. So liquid. I hope I kind of give you some more info on it in short on how, what, why, and where. Convenient way of feeding. You got options. Minimal waste, cost effective.
I got a question there. How do you control the neck up?
On the tank, cows eat what they need. The problem is, because they're going through it too fast. How many cows in the tank? On a 4-wheel. Yeah, don't slow down. What did you feed him? What did you feed him all summer? What did you feed him in the summertime?
Just my own
Like year-round supplied mineral? Yeah, so they don't like mineral. Cows don't eat mineral, it's rock. That's why we blend it 50-50 with salt to get the suckers to eat it. They're deficient. There's not a cow from any of my customers that everybody's got the same complaints. Damn cows are eating too much. Yeah. They will level off. I guarantee you that. They will level off. Yeah. That's why it's more cost effective to feed a good mineral program year round, so you don't deal with that stuff. You fill up the lick tank and 3 days later it's empty. Because that runs up the cost. Just put a lick tank out year round and you won't have that spike.
You'll have every bear within 100 miles.
No, but cows don't overeat. I'm serious, cows don't overeat. The only time they overeat is because if they have to compete or if they're deficient. I had a guy in Rocky Mountain House, same thing. 6 weeks in, cows are eating too much, cows are eating too much. I finally went out there, because he didn't want me there. He didn't want me there, so I came out. We went to the pasture, there's 260 cows on one tank. So I left, because it's see it. So you need 2 more tanks. It's very simple. It's 100 cows per tank.
Per tank?
Yes. 25 a wheel.
How many calves per tank?
Probably didn't work.
I know, it's expensive. It's not cheap. But if you can't complain about the feed if you don't feed it right. And that's the same with lick tubs. If every farmer would just put 20 to 25 head on a lick tub, they'd be fine. But when you put lick tubs out on 400 head, you're not putting 16 lick tubs on the wheel at once. No. Right? Everybody runs to U of A, gets a pellet with 4, throws them out, looks back a week later, oh, they're out. Yeah. What's the money? There's some pictures of my dealers. Some bale treatment here. Customer just puts bales on end. This was out by Brooks. This was minus 35 or something last night. Same one here. It was cold, miserable. This is a picture. There's a Hutterite colony next to me that made, because guys are always looking to move their tanks, right? You can't move them with the bucket. That's the reason we stopped renting them. This is too expensive. Oh, this one got a hole in it. So what they did is they built a metal frame around it and they hydro deck. So when the tank's empty, they just don't even have to get out. They just pick it up and move it. I got guys putting them on sleds. Yeah. Options. Don't miss a lick. Yeah. Any questions?
They were saying 400 to 500 pound calves, they shouldn't be eating it?
Well, as long as they're developed enough. Urea, the protein we use comes out of urea. And urea has been known to kind of hinder rumen development. So if you got some really poor calves that are just barely weaned and not eating enough, urea is not good for them. Yeah. And most of the time that's at that 400 pound mark.
What about young calves? Keep that away from them?
What do you mean? Yeah, but they won't eat it. They don't need it. They won't. Yeah, they might lick at it once or twice, but all I'm saying is you don't want to use it as the sole supply of supplement on young calves under 400 to 500 weight. Yeah.
So they could eat a bale that's treated with water.
Yeah, because a 400 pound calf at 2.5% body weight. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Well, everybody's got lick tanks out in pasture when they're calving.
No, I'm not talking about cakes. I'm talking treated bales or solid, whatever. The calves are always eating that.
Nah, they always eat a little, but their intake isn't gonna be high enough to cause any.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's the only trick. It's not your mineral that's the problem. Cows just need to eat more. And we're the only feed that cows actually like. It's a very simple concept. Sugar is energy. It's just a little expensive this year. That's the problem.
Is it gonna go up?
Depends on urea.
So it,
Depends on I don't know. A normal year you could kind of guess, but I don't know. Fuel's up there. Trucks don't run on water when they bring it here. Yeah. And it's not in our best interest to raise the prices, but we need to. Yeah, I don't get any say in price. I get a price and that's it, right? But it's still affordable. Like I said, even if it goes up $50, if you could save on the forage you're feeding, that's where the money is, and that's where we have to change our mindset. Like the days of cows coming in and feeding them hay, can't do that. Because what's going to be the problem next year? When barley's at $2 a bushel. And it's dry. Right? And we got good feed. Then it's the same thing again. But nobody wants to supplement the cow. Oh, here we go, downhill again. And then next year, we're dry again, we're looking again. You gotta get away from the sticker shock on. And that's all I'm trying to explain. Like the money is in the bales and the silage and the straw you have in your yard. Because there's no grain farmer out here that when by the time they combine their canola and it was $10 a bushel, and now it's 22, they said, oh, I'll still sell it for 10. No, it's sell it for 22. Get rid of it, right? So why are we not doing that with bales? Just don't understand. Yeah. That's all I got. Hope it made sense.
When you pour it on a bale, is there any advantage of doing it like a hand or?
I could imagine that it's a little more pleasant to do it now than minus 40.
How do you just pour it in and that way to hold it?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, so this picture here, that's customers just put it on end, and some guys come out and do it, other guys do it themselves. About 100 pounds a bale, 10% bale weight.
How do you stop it from running through there?
Sorry?
If you tip it up, it'll quit running through if you flip it back.
Yeah. No, you get a few drops, but. And don't ask me how long it takes, depends on your baler. You got a 40-year-old baler, or you got a brand new John Deere, and you jam 1,800 pound bales out, yeah. It's gonna, depends on your straw, is there a lot of chaff in it? I've seen bales with a lot of chaff in it, where it takes longer. Right?
Our straw bales are like 100% chaff this year.
Also-
Fine.
Yes, it takes a long time.
And it's it takes longer for the molasses to go through.
There's not a bail where it won't run through. It's just, yeah, sometimes it takes 10 minutes, sometimes it takes 3 hours. Oh. Well, you need an older baler. You can loosen the tension up in that bale. Yeah. Yeah.
Depends on the feed, rescue,
Sorry?
it'll run through rescue equipment and stuff.
When it
comes to the bale, you want to try it yourself. We did oat bales here that ran through in 5 minutes. And then we've heard if you're baled behind a rotary combine, it might not run through a week. So it's so different between what you're baling, what you bale with, and what you bale behind. You have to grab one and try it, or you won't.
But normally we say 4 to 6 weeks of inventory. That's probably like trained enough for 4 to 6 weeks. Right? And I don't know. I just use common sense. You put liquid in a bale. Is it going to run out? Yeah, probably sooner or later.
Or different.
It's not some magic stuff that a ton of molasses is going to fix all your problems. If that was the case, I'd triple the price.
They can put it where they're going to eat, and if it brings through, it don't matter, because those bales are better too. If you have to. You just go put it out in the field, it's not through.
But yeah, how they implement it on farm best is, farm is different. They said as long as they get enough found out, be good. It's your job to figure out the least amount of waste and the most efficient way to feed it. But you got a 6% barley straw bale, you put 100 pounds of molasses on it, it up to protein 3 to 4%. So then all of a sudden you got a 9 to 10% bale. Well, I've sampled a lot of hay, and a lot of hay comes in that range. Right? So then you got an $80 bale of hay, or a $50 bale of hay. You're still going to buy a mineral, or you get a $35 bale of straw, add $30 molasses to it, and you're done. So, anybody who tells you it costs too much, it's just not true. It's just isn't. I've done it at home. I got sheep at home, and I know they're not cows, they're sheep. But I got 50 ewes, and I used to buy a truckload of hay. Now I buy a truckload of straw. It's true for those ranches right there.
Yeah.
So you can afford to do that.
And
sheep is
my-
200% profit.
Yeah, and my sheep, they get barley, straw, and barley. That's it. And a sheep something on the rail. That's it. And they do fine. Yeah, they don't want to eat for the first week. Well, not what? They're hungry at some point. But it's either 10 grand for a load of straw or a load of hay, or 2 grand for a load of straw.
Do you have many guys feeding the producers?
Yeah.
We've got about 40 persons.
Yeah.
They're thinking we put a 15 out.
Yeah.
They're getting hay and then they get straw.
Oh, yeah.
And then they're eating.
Yeah.
And like one, two of them,
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Because bulls don't, their requirements aren't,
no, they just,
they're just big animals. And they,
yeah, give them a little bit extra.
But
instead
you might want to, well, bulls never run over the
of big regulars.
Yeah.
They're awesome.
After you bonus, or you need to feed it to your horses.
I could read it to my horse.
They have to show a lot of liquor to your horse.
No, don't read this. No, unless you want to get rid of it.
No, I don't want to get rid of them.
No, it says on the tag very clearly.
They're very well.
Yeah. Well,
It's okay to feed it to horses.
no. What?
There was a slide there earlier.
Yeah, but it was a lick tub.
That's a tough one.
Yeah. Look at the tag. The tag will explain it all.
Oh, look at the brown.
Yeah. And don't forget, this is the only sugar-based liquid, right? I know there's other liquids out here, but we are, and that's why I took the job 5 years ago. We don't want to sell molasses. All the other liquid feeds are not sugar-based. They're just liquid feeds. They're like remnants from the old big days where pig barns would be liquid feed. Right?
So how does this stuff formulate for molasses years ago? Like these guys said, was it 2 months?
Molasses, the difference was there was a lot of science involved. It was basically we just had molasses and we dumped our bags of mineral in there and stir it up real good. And ship it its way, always had that big layer of sludge in the water. The way they do it now, most of our ingredients are liquid as it is. And like our calcium or urea or like our other ingredients, everything is fine, right? Everything's really fine. And then we add gum to suspend it all. And that is the slickest stuff you've ever seen. If you get that on your finger and your finger is like slightly wet, you feel that for 3 days. So that's absolutely horrible stuff. And that just kind of keeps it suspended.
And how workable is it when it gets to be like
Best comparison I've had is compared to hydraulic oil. Like in minus 30, you're not gonna start to go, right? Warmer up a little bit. Except that these pictures, the top two, like the middle one, that one, and that one, that was in minus 30, minus 35. He called me when he made these pictures because I didn't make them. He was the only place it froze was his house when he was driving out. So, you plug your tractor in at night, so it is still a liquid, so I'm not going to say it's easier to work with than minus 30 than it is plus 1. It's still manageable. You said you had a total shop for...
Yeah, we left the tote out in that open shed all last winter, and when it was minus 40, I just opened it to see if it would flow, and it flows.